Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and I was very helpfully emailed by Susie. So thank you, Susie. Hi there. And thank you so much for emailing me to make a suggestion for the mass makes. Always, you know, great to have suggestions, obviously, for other things, providing they're nothing too complicated, because of course I wouldn't really want to do that. But yeah, the lovely Susie, she emailed me and suggested that we do the pen holders that Gi Kerr had shown on her channel. Now, she did her pen holders, it was way back August last year, so I have to say I can't really remember whether I saw it or not at the time. But fantastic idea. So I checked out her video, and yep, brilliant idea, and a great way of using up your 6x6 paper sheets. So let me just move my camera slightly up higher because you know, I know that I'm not always in frame, so I do apologise for that. It's very difficult to get just right, you know, because some people want it quite close, because obviously, you know, to make the vision better. But of course, if you're quite close, not everything is then necessarily in frame, and you know, so it goes on. And also I can't really see my screen, so I apologise, but I'm trying to work on it. Anyway, so if you are joining in with the mass make today, then what you're going to need is some 6x6 paper. Now, of course, if you don't have 6x6 papers, bring along any other papers. Now, obviously the A4, you know, what we have as A4, which, you know, is that 8.5 by 11, I think, if you're in the States. It's, you know, approximately that. You can obviously make them from that. They're going to be a slightly different size, but, you know, they're going to work okay, because you can just cut it down the middle, basically. And, of course, you can use your 12 by 12 sheets, because, of course, that's going to give you 4 of your 6x6 sheets, if that makes sense. So that's all you're going to need, and some glue, some scissors, and then Gi Kerr used paper clips to obviously make hers, you know, paper clippable onto the pages. Again, if you don't want to use the paper clips, you know, you could use some other device or method, or, you know, I don't know, you could maybe even glue them in, I don't know. But yeah, those are the things that we have here. And also, if you don't have paper clips, you could always add the paper clips at a later stage. So if I move my bits and bobs out of the way, so as my desk is slightly more clear, and I can just do then, and you know, 1 or 2 to show you how we're doing them, and then we can, you know, just relax into a nice bit of, you know, mass making, basically. So what I'm going to do first of all is show you how she made one. So this was one that I was kind of obviously trying out earlier on. So you're going to take your 6x6 paper sheet, sorry, and you're going to just fold it straight in half down the middle. Then what you're going to do is take 1/2 and you're going to fold that in, not quite to the middle, but, you know, pretty close to the middle, like that, okay? And then what you're going to do is take this here and bring it across here like that. Okay, oops, like that. And then with this sheet, again, what you're going to do is just bring it in. Mine's not working quite the way hers is. Hold on. Okay, so Blue Peter style. This is one that I have already made earlier, obviously to try them out and make sure that, you know, I knew what I was doing. So basically you're going to take your 6x6 paper sheet and you are going to fold it in half. I love projects like this because this doesn't even involve cutting or anything. You're just literally working with the paper sheet exactly how it is. So you're going to fold that in half. You can then obviously score it with your bone folder if you want, or if you don't have a bone folder, you can just use your, you know, scissor handles or something. Then you're going to open it back out, and then you're going to fold in one of your corners like that. And then you're going to fold in this section. So like, it's basically 1/4 of the paper into approximately in line with this. So this flap, you're not coming right to the fold, you're just going quite close to it. And then this one, you're going roughly in line with this line here. And then you're going to just, you know, squash that down. And then what you're going to do is with your middle fold, you're going to just fold it over again like that. And then you're going to take the whole lot and fold it back over, squish it down, and then just open that part out. And again, you're just going to make a little fold there. And then you're going to just fold the whole lot over, and that's your little glue, not glue, sorry, pen holder. So if I just show you, you know, your pen would just then slip into there. I mean, obviously I have not glued this together or anything. I know it looked quite complicated, but honestly, you know, I'll run through it another couple of times and it will become clearer as we go. So if I just glue this together to show you, you know, exactly how it's going to be. So just take my glue and then just glue all around my first corner basically. So that, just squish that in. Let me just get my card, spread my glue out. Okay, and then we're going to take this part in. Obviously we are not going to glue this yet. Okay, then you're going to take this section here. Oops, no, I've gone wrong already. Look, not good. Okay, yes. So you're going to fold this piece back over like that. No, we're not. Oh, honestly, what a demonstration. I'm not even getting it right myself. Right. Okay. So, yeah, you are going to fold this piece in, and then this one here, you're just going to fold this corner down. Okay, so then press that in like that. Now that one's going to go like that. So obviously inside we've got our flapping piece here. Now I'm not too sure whether Gi Kerr actually, I don't recall seeing whether she glued that to anything or not, to be honest. I'm not sure that she did. Yeah, I mean, I feel that's a little bit in the way of the, pen. That might just be me. Perhaps she glued that down. So yeah, if we glue that in and then like that. So yeah, let's do that, because otherwise I feel like it's a little bit in the way of the when the pen slips in. So let me unclog my glue. I can't believe it. This is a brand new glue. Only just opened it literally 2 days ago, and I haven't really even used it. Okay, so just glue that one down like that. Then you're going to come in and you're going to fold this one over. So all you're going to do is run a little bit of glue down here like that, just down that edge, and then you're going to just have a little bit here at the bottom to seal that closed. Now you're also going to have this bit here. Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and today we are going to make these pen holders. This idea was so kindly suggested to me by Susie. So hi Susie, if you're watching, and thank you so much for giving me this awesome suggestion. So the idea actually came from Gi Kerr, and it was uploaded back in August last year, so I, to be honest, can't really remember whether I saw it or not. But anyway, I did hop over and obviously checked out how she made them. So yeah, thank you so much, Susie. That was an awesome suggestion, and yep, absolutely brilliant. So always welcome suggestions for things that we can do in the mass making, providing that they're nothing really difficult or complicated or requiring measuring, because I would probably struggle to do those things. But yeah, this was an awesome one. So yeah, thank you so much, Susie. So if you're going to be mass making these particular things along with me, what you're going to need is some 6x6 papers. Now, I only actually have a few 6x6 papers. So what I've done is brought along a whole bunch of other papers, and I've already cut out a few in 6x6 size, just using this one as a template. I mean, as you can see, they're not accurate, you know, but they're roughly 6x6, so they are good enough. So you're going to need them. You're going to need your bone folder, or if you don't have a bone folder, maybe just, you know, your scissor handles or something. I mean, this project's so simple, there's literally like no cutting involved or anything, except for the sheet of paper that's going to cover up your paper clip. And of course you're going to need some paper clips. Now again, if you don't have paper clips at the moment, you could always add the paper clip afterwards. You know, it's not essential to do everything now. Of course you're going to need your glue, and you know, you might like a card or something to spread your glue, and I'm pretty sure that's kind of all that we're going to need. So let's get started. So as usual, I will just show you one or two, you know, dummy runs, you know, to demonstrate how to make them, and then, you know, we can just relax and have a nice time doing the mass make. So take your 6x6 sheet, and all you're going to be doing in the first instance is folding it in half. So you may want to score it with your bone folder or your, you know, scissor handles. Then open it back out like that, and then all you're going to do is fold in one of the sides, one of the triangles. Now, not quite to the middle, okay? So you're not going right up to that folded middle edge, but, you know, pretty close like that, okay? And then, again, squash that down with your bone folder. Now, this is scrapbook paper, and this is quite thickish. I don't know what GSM this would be, but it seems quite thick to me. So, you know, you probably would be better using a thinner one, if I'm truthful. Now, you're going to glue down this triangle that you've just folded. Okay. So just take that and glue that down. Okie dokie. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the remaining part here, and you're going to fold that in so it's roughly in line with this line of your triangle, if that makes sense. So like that. And again, I'm just going to use my bone folder to press that down like that. Okay. Now what you've got now, I personally glued mine in. Now I didn't really see whether Gi glued hers in or not. I chose to glue mine in purely because if you don't glue it in, I feel like it's going to be something for the pen to catch on. But, you know, completely and utterly up to you. I just thought it was another, you know, area for the pen to get caught on, to be honest. So that's why I've decided to glue mine in. And as I say, it may be that she had glued hers in, and perhaps I just didn't really notice that. So you're just going to press that down like that. Then you're going to take the whole thing and fold it over like that. So you've got your folded piece with your straight piece. And then all you're going to do is fold this straight piece over here like that. Okay, so again, you might want to now squish that down with your bone folder. Okay, and then all you're going to do is, just like we did here, you're just going to fold this in to make a little triangle, and your triangle now is going to go up nearish to this fold line here. Okay, so just take that in like that and just fold that in. Okay, and then we're just going to bone folder that down And that's it. That's all there is to these gorgeous little things. So then what you're going to want to do here is you're going to glue along this bottom flap. Actually, I should probably glue my triangle down first. So I glue my triangle down like that. So I mean, these are super simple, but really super cute. So yeah, I hope you like them. As I say, not my idea at all. I cannot claim credit for them, but they are super fun. And yeah, I hope you like them, as in I hope you like them here on the mass making. Not I hope you like my idea, because yeah, not my idea at all. Okay. So, oops, just trying to balance my glue down. And then we're just going to fold this over here. Now, I'm just going to stand up and just check the view here, because, I mean, I do have such problems trying to stay in frame. Because I don't have the biggest kind of desk area, I think, is not helping. But also I know that some people like you to film quite close so that they can see what's going on. And, you know, that then sometimes means that you're not really in frame. So, yeah, I need to try and work on that. And apologies if you do find that. Okay, and that's your little pen holder. So where's my pen gone? Oh, still in here. And that just slips into the holder like that. Now, obviously, that's not really stuck down yet, so I'm going to take it out pretty smartish before it just rips all my glue apart. But that's all there is to those. And then, again, what you're going to do is to use your paper clip. Again, I'm using these medium sort of size paper clips. And I'm just going to tuck that in there. So I've got the shorter part on the outside. And then I'm just going to take a little piece of card. And it's, you know, you're just using a slither really, because obviously these are pretty skinny. And you're going to just slip it in, covering the paper clip, okay? So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this bit, because that will be, you know, probably a faster, better method. So run your glue all over, and then just sort of shimmy that down like that. Oops. Just covering your paper clip there. Okay, and then you can always, you know, slip your bone folder in if you wanted to, you know, press that down. Okie dokie. That's it. That's literally all there is to those. So really, really, really simple. So let me show you another one, because I realised that my demonstration, you know, maybe was not the best, was not the clearest. So we'll do another one. Let's do it in this paper now, although this maybe is not the best because maybe you can't really see. Can you see very clearly? Maybe not. I'll put a sheet of paper underneath there. Okay, so all you're going to do is, again, take your 6x6. You're folding it in half like that. Squash it down like that. Okay, open it back out. Then you're going to fold a triangle quite close to that fold line. Again, press that down. Then I chose to glue mine at this stage. I mean, again, just play around with what method suits you best, because I'm not necessarily saying that my method is best. I mean, obviously I did make one before filming, and yeah, this is kind of how I made it. But I'm not saying that this is, you know, this is the way. Then you're going to take this section here from the triangle and you're going to fold it in like roughly so as it's in line with that line, if that makes sense. So like that. Okay. Now I'm just thinking, right, okay, please just ignore me for a minute. Oh no, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I'm going to just glue this down, this whole flap here. And again, I'm doing that so that the pen has less to get caught on. Okay, so then we just, again, oops, press that down. Just using my very inky dried wipe now. Okay. Okay, and then you're folding it over like that, and all you're doing is folding this edge over here, like that. Bone folder that down. Then open it back out, and you're just going to fold this little triangle here. Again, just close to that fold line, okay? And then you're going to be doing that. So again, just take your glue, glue down that triangle. Oops. There's definitely not enough room on my desk today. Oh, I just seem to have a ton of different things going on. Yeah, different videos and things that I've been working on, and they're obviously just really, everything is really in the way, so I do apologise. Okay, and then you're going to come up that edge, you know, the long edge, like that. Did I glue that edge in before? I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. Okay, so then you're going to just glue that down like that. And obviously if you've got any bits that aren't quite even at the bottom, you could just trim them off now. Okay, and then you're going to take your paper clip and just, you know, again, I put the long piece in there, and I'm just going to get a piece of card. You know, again, just a small skinny piece is ample. And then I'm just going to glue that down like that. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay, so I mean, literally super simple, pretty quick, to be honest, I think, for you know, for what you're making. I don't know how much time has elapsed. Oh, 13 minutes, but I mean, we've made 2 already in 13 minutes, so pretty quick, I think. So just get my piece of paper there, sort of staying put. Okay, so that's that one. So I'll run through one more time because, you know, I do think they're a little bit fiddly. So, you know, of course, I don't mean to bore people who are like, oh my gosh, you know, she's running through it again. But, you know, sometimes I think things are a little bit confusing when you watch the demos. So again, I've just taken another sheet of paper, just fold it over like that. You know, bone folder it or scissor handle it down. Open it back out. Then you're going to do your first triangle in near to that fold. Okay, like that. And then we glued that down. Like that. Oops, okay. There we go. Like that. And then you're just going to then take this flap, and again you're just going to fold it, you know, roughly in line with this edge. So again, it's away from that fold line. Can you see that? You know, it's not quite up to that fold line. Oops. So again, just get your glue and glue that down Okie dokie. Press that down. Like that. Okay. And then you're going to turn this over because now this part has become your front, if that makes sense. And then you're just going to fold this section over there to meet, you know, to meet the side, if that makes sense. Now obviously this is not particularly forgiving because I've got these diagonal lines, so my, you know, shoddy cutting is now showing up, but I mean it's fine because obviously when you decorate this it won't be so evident. So you've got your fold there. I'm just going to now fold this triangle, so a small one, in approximately to that new fold line. Again, I'm just going to glue that down like that. Okie dokie. And then we're going to take this one and glue that along the bottom, and then this one here, a bit of glue along the bottom, and then straight down the side like that. And fold that over and just squish it all together like that. Okay, and then you get your paper clip, and again I'm just going to use the long in like that, and then take a piece of card, just going to use my Fabri-Tac. Okie dokie. It's a bit like origami, this one, I think. It's got all them, you know, loads of different folds, hasn't it? Okay. There we go. And you just press that down, obviously, over your paper clip. Okie dokie. And, you know, if you want to sort of bone folder it down, then you can do that. Okay, so hopefully that's, you know, a bit clearer now. So I will sort of get on making a few more, but I won't be now talking through the process. I'm just going to get making them. I'll probably do them like assembly style, you know, assembly line style, where I do all my folds, then all my glue in, then all the paper clips, I think, because that's, you know, probably the quickest way to do it. So I'm just going to, yeah, get on with that and spare you all, you know, the instructions for them. So, okay. So I hope everybody is having a good week. I hope you've, you know, been having a nice time. I hope the weather's nice where you are. We've had sort of mixed weather. It's very strange. It got really hot last week. And then suddenly all change, which actually, thank goodness, because my gosh, it was getting a bit too hot for my liking. Actually, I'm going to have to glue this as I go, sorry. Sorry, I suddenly thought, oh, I don't think it will work to do all the folds first and then all the gluing, so I'll just make them one at a time, I think, but probably do the paper clips at the end. Yeah, I have to say I was a bit relieved when the weather cooled down because, oh, it had just got to the point it was stifling. You literally could not even go outside. It was just so hot. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of a relief now, to be honest. The weather the weekend was, you know, not great, but it was okay-ish for the most part, and actually took the children to this place called Seven Sisters. I know that I have talked about this on here before because I'm sure that I once showed one of my little mini albums where we'd been to the Seven Sisters. We've only been there a couple of times before, I think, yeah, maybe even only 2 occasions previously. So yesterday, I think, was our 3rd time of visiting, and it was just me and the children, and oh, it's so beautiful there. It's about an hour and 15 minutes from where we are, and oh, it's just absolutely stunning. So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it and you're interested, you know, just Google Seven Sisters, and you know, then go to like Google Images, and you'll see like some most beautiful scenery, like lovely, breathtaking views. So yeah, it's a really nice kind of day out. And I mean, actually, although the walk, because you just walk from like basically one end over all of the Seven Sisters, which are 7 hills basically, to like the other end. And then of course, I mean, probably some people would then, you know, turn around and walk back. But we've never done that. We've always then, you get to the other end and then there's a bus, which actually I have to say the bus route is pretty terrible. So just in case anybody here is thinking that they're going to visit, oh gosh, please check the bus routes out first. Please don't take my word as gospel. You know, if anyone's watching in the UK and thinks, oh, I'm going to do that, you know, check the bus routes out, because yeah, the first time that we went, they obviously had a really regular bus service and it was awesome. You know, we just waited 20 minutes and then a bus came along and we were able to get it back to the like visitor centre car park where we'd left the car. And then the second time we went, they had literally cut the buses out. So there was something like one bus per week. Like, I know that just sounds ridiculous, like literally ridiculous, but that was what we were told. You know, at the visitor centre, when we were like horrified to find that there were no buses. And then we were so lucky because these lovely, kind couple actually gave us a lift, you know, allowed us to jump in their car and gave us a lift back to the centre, which, I mean, thank goodness that they were there and were so kind as to do that, because, you know, again, I mean, it was several years ago, so I think my middle son must have been about 6. So, I mean, obviously this was when we just had the 2 kids, and yeah, I mean, otherwise we'd have had to turn around and walk back. And I mean, obviously a 6-year-old, he would not have relished that walk. The same as my daughter now. So we checked out the bus routes yesterday before we went. And then obviously due to the coronavirus thing, they've still cut loads of them out, but it hadn't said that on the website. So of course we did the walk and we said to my daughter, you know, at the end, it's fine. You get on a bus, it takes you back to the car. Well, of course, then we got there only to find that there was not a bus, and it wasn't too bad. We had to walk about another 20 minutes to the next village and get on a bus there. So, you know, it was okay. But I mean, of course, my daughter was gutted at having to do more walking, you know, of course she was. So, yeah, that was a little bit annoying. So if you are likely to want to go there, please check out the bus route, you know, and do what? Just the walk one way kind of thing. Check out the bus routes first. I mean, it's so naughty when they just change the routes like that and don't really have it plastered all over their website, because, you know, you plan your day out and then, I mean, you could get there and really be unstuck if you had, like, I don't know, somebody elderly or, you know, young children or whatever who physically just really would not have been able to make that walk back. Then it would be a bit of a nuisance. I mean, perhaps you could get a taxi, I don't know, but it would cost a lot of money. Well, yeah, anyway, we were lucky. We managed to get the bus back, you know, from the next village. And yeah, I mean, the actual walk itself, I don't know how far it is. It probably is not very far, but I mean, obviously it's quite grueling because it's over all these different hill type bits. And but wow, the scenery, it's just so stunning. So yeah, really lovely there. And as I say, we've only done it a couple of times, so sorry, my shoddy cutting is really showing up on this one, because I just obviously used that first 6x6 paper as a bit of a template. And when I say a bit of a template, I mean literally, I mean a bit of a template. So hence it's now not really straight at all, but never mind. It will all be covered up when it's decorated anyway. Won't really show. Yeah, anyway, so stunning scenery and lovely day out. And to be honest, the weather was just perfect for that kind of day out. because it was, you know, sunny at times. You know, it was just fine. I don't know what the temperature was. I think it had said it was going to be about 15, something like that, which actually is fine, isn't it, for walking? Gosh, I mean, you wouldn't want it any hotter than that. So yeah, it was just right, really, for that particular day out. And then driving home, the heavens opened and it really was heavy, coming down with rain at times. So we were really lucky because we just missed the rain, you know. Oh, I mean, literally, yeah, must have missed it by about half an hour. So it was all good. But, oh, beautiful, beautiful scenery, I must say. And my daughter even said she quite liked the walk, so it must have been good. So she's gone back to school last week, and when I did the mass making last week, she was just about to go back to school the next day. And I know that, again, some really, you know, some of you are so kind and said, you know, let us know how your daughter got on. So, oh, thank you so much for asking. That's really nice of you. She loved it. She had a great time. I was a little bit nervous. She was a bit nervous. She was nervous about the remembering to social distance and all that, you know, kind of stuff. But she was absolutely fine. And, yeah, she was able to social distance and what have you. So, yeah, she had a lovely time, and, yeah, she's only going like 2 days a week at the moment because that's how they've opened the school. So she just did the Monday and Tuesday, and then obviously was off for the rest of the week. And she's obviously doing the same, you know, this week. So she's there again today because I'm just filming on the Monday prior to uploading this tomorrow, which is now today for you guys. Yeah, she had a lovely time. So thank you so much to those kind people who had, you know, inquired and asked how she got on. So, yeah, she really enjoyed being back with her friends. And obviously, because they're staggering it, you know, not everybody is back. But they were very good. They, like, phoned the parents, and they, I think, tried to make sure, or, you know, ensure that some children had, or that all children had, like, somebody who they like, you know, in their days of the week. Well, I mean, I guess they could only do so much because, I mean, if you were going back to work on certain days, you might not have a choice. But she was very lucky because her little friend, who's her sort of best friend, you know, because girls, they like to have a little best friend, don't they? Yeah, we're really lucky because she has also gone back on the same days of the week as my daughter. So yeah, so she was thrilled to see her, and, you know, just had a really good time. I have to say, she did come back very, very exhausted because yeah, on the Monday when she came back, she wasn't so bad on the Tuesday, but on the Monday she was in a bit of a grump when she came in. You know, we were all like, oh, hello, gorgeous, oh, how was your day, blah blah blah, you know. But no, she was not really wanting to be chatting. Every time I kind of said, oh, what did you do? Did you do this? Where did you sit? You know, I can't remember. And, you know, yeah. So she obviously was tired out from going back, but pleased. Sorry about that. I just had to stop to have a drink of water. I was getting a bit thirsty. So, yeah. Anyway, so she's, you know, back to her old self, pleased to be back at school, and yeah, really, really nice for her. And then obviously the other big news that happened last week, I feel embarrassed to even say this, but was McDonald's opened. And I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't really necessarily have even said we have very many McDonald's, but clearly everybody had missed them because I mean, I didn't know that they were reopening that day, but my son, who's, you know, who's back at work, he came in, it must have been on the Wednesday, I think it was, and he came in from work and he said, right, McDonald's is open, you know, do you want to come and sit with me in the car and we'll go to McDonald's? Because, you know, he's learning to drive, so he can't drive obviously without sort of me sat beside him. So yeah, we jumped in the car and went to McDonald's, you know, the children and me, and we had to queue for quite a while, I have to say. It not too badly, because I had seen like a couple of weeks ago, because they've been, I think, staggering how the McDonald's are opening. Don't ask me what that's based on, but yeah, our one opened last week, and I was a bit worried about how big that queue was going to be. Oh, I've just realised I did the paperclip on that one and I didn't on those. Oh well. Yeah, I was a bit worried because I had seen on the news like a couple of weeks ago when a different one had opened. I think it was somewhere in London. And oh my gosh, the queue was massive. Absolutely massive. I mean, it was like going right down the road. I don't know how far, but I mean, it looked like it was like half a mile long. So yeah, it was a huge, huge queue. So thankfully ours was nowhere near like that. So yeah, I doubt we would have stayed. Well, who knows, the kids might have been keen to stay. I didn't have a McDonald's because I don't really, you know, I don't really have them very much. But yeah, they all had one and were pleased to have one. So that was kind of the big news for our household last week, was like, oh, McDonald's. So yeah, they were all pretty chuffed with that. But as I say, it just made me laugh because I thought, well, I wouldn't have really thought that we even have that many, but my gosh, they were pleased to be able to have one. There we go. I mean, they said they had a limited menu running, but to be honest, it seemed quite an extensive menu to me. You know, they seemed to, well, I couldn't really tell you what wasn't on the menu that normally is. It seemed pretty much like everything was on there, but I think they weren't doing McFlurries and they weren't doing milkshakes. But aside from that, it looked like pretty much everything was on there, you know, that's normally on there. But yeah, clearly McDonald's has been very missed by many people. There we go. Yeah, and my son's pleased to be back at work, so he's you know, it's all good. He's pleased to be back. He's having to travel on public transport, you know, the train, which I was a little bit concerned about, obviously, at first. But I mean, actually, as luck has it, he said that the carriage has been empty, you know, when he's been on the train. There's no one else even in his carriage. So touch wood, it's really not too, you know, too dangerous, because he's actually found nobody really is on the train anyway. So that's all good. And my younger son, there's still no information really about as to when he's going to be going back. So it's a bit of a mystery. I mean, yeah, I don't know even whether he'll be back before September. It's very strange, but I think I've said before, but he's had braces, you know, on his teeth, and he was due to have them off literally, like, I think it was the week before the lockdown, or I can't now remember, but it was certainly, you know, it was like super, super close to when we went into lockdown. And when we got to the appointment, they then asked him, you know, because there was still one little gap, and they said, you know, it's up to you. You can have your braces off today, or you can just wait another couple of weeks and that gap will close. So he opted to wait until that gap had closed. Well, of course, then we went into lockdown. So he's had them on, you know, what was only supposed to be like one or 2 weeks. He's now had them on like for, you know, the last 2 months or 10 weeks or however long it's been now. I've literally lost track. Everything's kind of merged in now. Yeah, he's had them in for all that extra time. So he literally cannot wait to be able to have his braces off. I don't think he's overly bothered about when the school returns. His little, you know, thing is just, oh, when is the dentist going to open? And actually, I did hear this morning that dentists are, I think, opening today. But, of course, obviously, they're, you know, they're just for like emergencies and things like that at first. You know, of course they've got to prioritise and, you know, do the things that are actual emergencies first. And I mean, his dentist, or, you know, the orthodontist, they've been really good at keeping us updated and things like that. They've sent us lots of texts saying what's coming next. So their last text was, I think they were due to open on the 8th, you know, so today. And but don't contact them, you know, they will get in touch, obviously, because they're going to be inundated with people, you know, needing treatment finishing and things. So just said, you know, please bear with us, don't contact us, we will contact you. And, you know, of course, because they have been so brilliant, I don't have any doubts that they will get in touch. You know, sometimes you kind of think, well, will they get in touch? Because sometimes places aren't so great, are they? But yeah, they've been absolutely brilliant. So that's the thing he's waiting for, really. He's not that fussed about, you know, waiting to go back to school. But he is fussed about having his braces off. So, yeah. And, hey, who can blame him? So, yeah, he really can't wait for that. Now, because I stopped that to have my drink of water, I no longer know how long we've been going for. This has been like 8 minutes so far. Trying to find another piece of card now to just use for this, you know, the oh, here we go. Yep, it's certainly been a strange old year, hasn't it? I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought at the beginning of the year? Oops, there we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Trying to think if we've been watching anything good on the TV. We haven't really. Yeah, I've been watching the Netflix Madeleine McCann, you know, story, which, you know, you probably have heard of even if you're not in the UK. Oh, heartbreaking and just horrible. So that's kind of, yeah, not very cheery subject to probably be chatting about. So that's what I've been watching, but probably not necessarily one that you want to hear about. Trying to think if we've watched anything else. We did watch a movie last night. Oh, we watched a movie on Friday night. We watched Over the Hedge. It was all about my daughter on Friday night. So, you know, she kind of like said where everyone had to sit and, you know, everything like that. And she got her blankets and we all had to kind of go under her blankets, you know, to watch the TV. So, you know, it was all fun. And yeah, we were then going through trying to find something to watch, and we picked Over the Hedge. Now, I don't know whether you guys have seen Over the Hedge, but obviously it's a child's film. I think it's the voice of Bruce Willis, and who doesn't love Bruce Willis after all? And it's just such a good kids film. I mean, I think you know, most of those kids kind of animated films are pretty good these days, aren't they? But you know, like some have just lots of kind of adult type humour. So that's one of those that just has a lot of like adult humour in it. And I don't know, things like, I'm trying to think of one of the jokes. But I mean, basically, I don't want to kind of give away the entire plot, but I mean, it's like, you know, the story of kind of hibernation and, you know, the animals gathering their supplies for the winter, and then basically they come across another animal who he's like stolen some food from a bear and he needs to get it back to him. So he decides to make use of these little foragers, you know, to help him get the food back, but obviously unbeknown to them. So ends up putting them in danger, but he's trying to get like food from the humans, you know. And yeah, it's just very amusing because well, he kind of is explaining what's, you know, what's what. So he's like, oh, you know, this is where they worship the food. And I think that was like the dining table, you know, this is where the humans worship the food. And then he showed like a treadmill and was like, and this is where they come to, you know, work off the guilt that they've had for having too much food. And yeah, it's just a really good film because the humour is so funny. And yeah, really, really, really good film. So I hadn't seen it for several years, so it was quite nice to rewatch it. She doesn't necessarily overly like sitting through movies that much. It was strange because the boys, they always really liked movies, even at quite a young age. She's not so fussed, and you know, she gets quite bored, but quite quickly. But you know, she's happy to be in the room, but she's normally drawing or something. But hey, I mean, aren't we all? Aren't we all? I'm generally sat there, even watching Over the Hedge. I was still kind of doing some fussy cutting and stuff like that. So yeah, she's just obviously probably a typical girl. I mean, like yesterday when we were waiting to go out, or you know, getting our picnic and everything ready to go out for the day to do this walk at Seven Sisters. Oh, it just made me laugh so much because she said, oh, I want to do some painting. And, you know, I'd said to her, well, there's not time to do painting now. You know, we're waiting to go, so you're not going to have time to do painting. Sorry, I'm just looking around for some more card now to, you know, to just put my paperclip in. Well, perhaps I'll just do the paperclip for this one a bit later. So, as I say, I have lost track of how long I've been filming for, but I'm pretty sure that I must be somewhere getting to time, I would have thought. So, yeah, I thought it was probably about 45 minutes, and I think it is. So, yeah, we'll just decorate one up now, and I'll put the paperclip in this one, you know, later. So, how many did we make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd made this one before, but, you know. Right, which one should we decorate? Should we decorate this one? Yeah. So yeah, I was saying about my daughter, it just made me laugh because we were getting ready to go yesterday, and I had told her, no, you know, there's no time to do painting now. And we were getting the picnic ready. So she's got her little desk in the kitchen, and it's just, you know, it's just an IKEA kids desk. So it's not like really big or anything. It's generally quite messy. It's often piled high, resembling my desk up here in the loft. So I mean, I can't really say an awful lot to her because obviously my desk is pretty similar. Although hers has got a lift up bit like a school kid's desk. So I mean, she should really just put things in there, you know, when she finishes. But you know, we all get that she doesn't. Anyway, she just made me laugh because I said, you know, no, you haven't got time to be doing painting, you know. So instead, she obviously decided to, you know, I don't know, be doing other things. And she'd got her tube of glue. She's got like some PVA glue. And she squeezing that out and drew like a heart with her PVA. So, I mean, at first I thought, oh, that's brilliant, you know, how clever. Because I thought she was going to finish it with like glitter or something like that. No, she just wanted to just do the, you know, just draw with the glue. So obviously I said to her, well, you can't be doing that because that's pretty extravagant. What a waste of glue, you know. And then, so then she was doing something or other else. And my eldest son, you know, who clearly does not get the crafting thing at all, like we do, he said to her, look, come on, you've got to be getting ready. What are you doing? Why are you doing arts and crafts for? I just had to chuckle so much because I just thought, oh my gosh, like mother, like daughter, you know, because that's me. Oh, I'll just quickly finish this, or I'll just quickly finish that, you know. I thought, oh, she's just the same. She's doing her bits of arts and crafts, you know, just as we're literally on our way out the door. She's like, oh, I'm just going to stick this here, or I'm just going to... Just made me laugh. I thought, oh, she just obviously takes after me, and what can you say? If you're doing the same thing, what can you really say? Well, not that I was doing the same thing yesterday, because obviously I also was getting ready to go, but, you know, having said that, I had been doing the same thing earlier on in the morning, I suppose, so... Anyway, just, it did make me chuckle, because I just thought, oh, she's just like her mum, obviously. But I thought, oh, typical boy, you know. No, you can't be doing arts and crafts now, he said. Just made me laugh. And yeah, when we were driving there, I said, you know, what is it about girls, I wonder, why we all love crafting, you know, and boys just don't get it. I don't know what that is. Yeah, nobody obviously had an answer for that in the car, you know. We were just kind of speculating and saying, oh, I wonder what that is. But yeah, nobody had a... Sorry, I'm just looking for something else to pop on here. Just anything, really. That's a bit wide. Because these are quite skinny, so, I mean, obviously it needs to be something pretty tiny to go on there. They're probably too wide as well, to be honest. Even though they're titchy. Let's have a look. Is that just like a bit strange on there? Could have done with something more portrait, and yeah, I don't appear to have anything portrait really. That's quite right. Nope. Oh, how annoying. Right, let me just have a look to the side of me. I wonder if I could use... got these tickets. Maybe I could just have a ticket on there. Yeah, do we want the pink one or the brown one? Maybe the brown, actually. There we go. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. Let me just ink this ticket up. Going to punch a hole in, you know, like where the ticket man does. Just where there was a hole, obviously, in that ticket. Okay. Maybe we just have lace there. Or perhaps we could have a bit of lace poking out, actually. Oh, that's better, isn't it? Right. Okay. Okie dokie. And then we'll just pop that ticket on there. Like that. Okay, that looks pretty, doesn't it? And then I was going to say, shall we have some bling? But probably is a bit of an overkill, isn't it, to have bling? That's a bit big. But I do have just this little glittery butterfly. It just happened to be just like laying around. So perhaps we'll pop that on there somewhere. Do we have that there? Oh, it doesn't really go, to be honest. No, I'm not going to have that on there. Right, okay, so that's that one. So here's my little pen holder. Pop that in like that. And then obviously that would just be paper clipped over a page. I don't have a journal on the go, I'm afraid, to be able to show you, but I'm sure you can, you know, get the idea. So they're really nice, aren't they? So thank you so much, Susie. What a brilliant idea of yours. So yep, thank you very much for getting in touch, and I really do appreciate it. I hope that you all had a good time making these. Thank you, Gi Kerr. I doubt she'll stumble across my video, but I mean, if she does, thank you so much for coming up with this idea in the first place. And I will try and remember to link her original video below as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks then. Bye.